Me impresiona mucho.
Pues sabes que yo creo que no es tanto el físico, es más bien la personalidad que tiene y todo lo que proyecta.
Ya me lo imagino con su smoking blanco, un martini en una mano y un costoso habano en la otra.
Provocativo. Atractivo.
A new stereophonic sound spectacular.
Hello there, and welcome to the exciting world of HIP. This is a new departure in language instruction for English-speaking people who want to talk to and be understood by jazz musicians, hipsters, beatniks, juvenile delinquents, and the criminal fringe.
Bonjour madame, bonjour monsieur. Nous allons, grâce à ce disque créé spécialement pour vous, essayer de tirer ensemble le maximum de qualité sonore de votre chaîne haute fidélité.
Sit back, relax, and close your eyes.
Your AI consultant is probably faking it. Or is the great AI con why enterprises are paying millions for nothing now? We got scammed by the fake Agile since at least 2015. Now, AI is coming for your budget, CEO. You should stop hiring AI consultants. Most of them don't exist yet anymore, anyway. The AI industrial complex is here, and it's already lying to you, especially with the attrition model, for instance. The AI gold rush is creating a new class of impostor consultant, especially in big firm. Is enterprise AI the new fake Agile? This is the Dare Real Agile episode 71, the AI Chasm. Are we about to repeat the Agile Industrial Complex disaster? So I'm your host, Coach AF. We're going to talk about it right now. For now, please hit the like button to help me beat the algorithm, especially on YouTube. Share this video to any entrepreneur or decision maker and the digital transformation that include AI adoption. Stay with me.
Welcome to the Business Agility Podcast, broadcasting from the heart of Montreal, where we dare talk all things agile, conscious leadership, and freedom lifestyle for entrepreneurs you won't hear elsewhere. Here's your host, Alexander Frederick Joly, known as Coach AF.
Yes, indeed, guys. I'm really happy that to be before you this Friday, February 27th, the end of winter. Is it? Are we going to be in the renaissance of the spring? I see already 20 people watching with me. I hope you have your coffee. I'm live from the Crew Collective co-working studio. That's going to be celebrating his 10 years, the co-working, especially with a hub of entrepreneur. And Vision AI was there, actually. Back in the day with us, Agile Lounge and Unsplash Photo were the three main entrepreneurs in this building and the old part of Montreal. So, and you will be more than welcome on Tuesday, April the 14th, to celebrate the 10 years of Agile Lounge and all of these colleagues and AI, business agility, and true real Scrum and everything else. So I'm really pleased to be with you today to talk about this kind of subject. For the 71 episode of the Dare Real Agile. It's amazing. Since 2019, 71 episodes, some with guests, some without. Today it's a solo editorial that I'm doing with you because I've got a lot of demand for our Adrian AI type of work, type of professional work. And we realized that the maturity of those CIO or CTO or now the even C whatever, chief AI officer, call it whatever you want. Everybody's becoming an expert all of a sudden. And I get the same tangled feeling that, remember like when 10 years ago, Daniel Mezick, Mike Beedle, Martin Fowler and Mike Beedle were two of the co-signatories. Daniel Mezick is the giant of Scrum from Boston. And they raised the alarm about this agile revolution was being consumed by an industrial machine of certification factories, corporate leaders, and so on and so on. So what did we learn from this agile hijacking movement? So today I'd like to put some parallel into perspective. You know, there's going to be like 3 segments to this podcast today. We have one concerning like a little bit of history, the Agile Hijacking. We're going to spend time about this. We're going to have also the blockchain. Yes, because I think blockchain is the standard of security of our digital identity, our digital twin, that is really important, and nobody pay attention to this. Of course, they focus on the Bitcoin, but as a commodity instead of as an asset. So the same pattern emerged there too. Bitcoin is being hijacked by the iFinance, the City of London, and so on. And the blockchain, it's still not the tool that we should use to protect our data, not just our money, our internet of money. And the part 3 will be exactly about this enterprise AI chasm. That's the new impostor economy, because you could see it on LinkedIn. Everybody is improvising themselves. We don't even have competition at Adrian AI or Edvision AI or all of these things. It's all a kind of people who are just buzzing with this. And when that happens, it's not just a crossroad, it's a chasm. It's going to crumble, and you're going to have a lot of people disappointed and putting a lot of money in the garbage like they did with those soi-disant agile transformation. So, part 1, the agile hijacking. Just a bit of history to put in context that the history is not repeating itself. It's mimicking for different type of things. So, the original promise. So that was a period of 2001 to 2010. So you see, last month we did the podcast to, did we celebrate or just remember as a nostalgia, as an anonomia, a souvenir of this great manifesto, this great original promise of the Agile Manifesto. 17 practitioners, including my great friend and mentor, that was there to uncovering better ways of working. The real future of work was there 25 years ago. Values and principle over all the process and tools to inform a human-centered or customer-centered empirical process to make those software a better and a smarter product. So that was the promise. Then there's a first tipping point happened in 2012, 2014. And this is interesting because in 2014, there was also a tipping point in the blockchain movement with the Bitcoin network. We'll get to that later in the second segment. But now the scaling framework exploded. Safe arrived, less was there. The DAD, which is why discipline agile, I think it was, DAD, whatever it is. The big 4 consulting firm enter. I won't name that. I think you know the big 4 in Canada and United States. Okay, let's name them. Deloitte at least and something like this. Start to have their business or not even business, agile transformation office. The certification becomes a business model, not a learning path. And this includes both creature by Ken Schwaber. Ken, I love you so much, but what you did with Scrum Alliance, you repeat it with Scrum Org. It's all the same shenanigan of certification that worth nothing, and the world of proof of work. And I'll get to that. Also, we're going to have a podcast talking about the proof of work that should replace your typical LinkedIn profile or whatever you have as a CV. Then, so that tipping point in 2012, 2014 really happened with these scaling framework. And that was the beginning of the end for the imposition of framework instead of a real learning path and a real empirical system that should evolve. And then 2014, 2016, just at the moment where Daniel Mezick, I think he created one of his books that launched the Open Leadership Network with invitation-based change was completely ignored. Mike Beedle with Enterprise Scrum, that actually Enterprise Scrum started at the early age of Scrum. When I was a Scrum Master in 99, 2000, I read the first kind of draft paper from Mike talking about Enterprise Scrum for business agility. It was completely sidelined in 2014, 2016. And Martin Fowler at a conference in Sydney, Australia, I think, he took those ideas from Mezick and Beedle and he repeat a term explored by Daniel Mezick in one of his books that I don't remember. But Daniel, if you pass on this, please comment below and correct me about this. I'm just doing it by heart. It's always unscripted. I just have a guideline of subject that I don't want to talk. So, but Daniel, I really praise you. You're my friend. You're my great colleague. You are a giant Scrum for me. And even if you came late in 2006, you were more advanced than anyone who started like me in 2000. But the thing is, Daniel Mezick, Mike Beedle, and Martin Fowler were completely dismissed 10 years ago about what they called together the Agile Industrial Complex. That was named publicly at that moment. And the damage is fake agile coaches arise, lame scrum master existed, pissing off developers, pissing off designer and engineer. Yeah, with process and position instead of paying attention of all the tools, all the tooling, all the learning process, all the improvement process of the empirical process should be put in place. So the agile and scrum became something that the doer, the executor, hated because it was not displayed as it should be. And it was failing because they didn't follow the recipe at first. So that's the goal. A lot of people in the years of my career, they told me that, oh, you're a purist, you're too strong. Yes, but that's the thing. An empirical process is based on science. Science needs fact, inspection, and adaptation. And then after you could start bending, yes, when you've learned the right way to do Scrum, the right way to do Kanban, the right way to incorporate extreme programming with any of your development cycle, now you could start compromising. And the thing is, you have to understand, and I love to quote Scott Adams on it. Losers have goals like product goals, sprint goals, whatever, but winners have systems. And Scrum is a system. Scrum is not a goal. Agile is not a goal. Kanban is not a goal. These are system thinking, system deployment, a system that could help you actually create a framework exactly tailored for your needs and what you try to achieve. Okay, so that's the real goal. But the Agile Industrial Complex with those fake coaches, those improvised consultants, those Agile Transformation Bureau, they destroy all that with all one size fits all, like all the industry, all the market, all the departments should follow the same recipe. No, it's wrong. The system should be taught as it is and practiced at first as it is, but it have to improve with the context of each department, each craftsmanship that needed to be more performant. So the damage was this. Agility reduced to a commodity tickets, to a commodity. Like even right now, 25 years later, 10 years later of the Chasm of Agile, a lot of people are contacting us just, how could you onboard Scrum team? But they will give you a lot of things. Actually, it's like any business stakeholders asking the development team, telling them not why we should do that product, but how to do the product, as they hire the engineer to actually guide them from their why ID to do the what and the how to. So you see, so we are still that. So as a consultant, that's kind of difficult because they will say like, oh, you an expert. Nah, they try to comfort you. They try to nail you. So just like, because they see it now as a commodity. They don't see it as a transformation, as a change, as a new ways of covering new ways of work. No, they just see it as let's do now. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? As a community, it's exactly this. Could you come to our place and just make it happen? Of course we could. But what is the intrinsic value you want to it? What is the outcome? What is the reason why you want to teach your engineer to be more agile and to adopt a system that will become a framework and a pattern of work to be more efficient, to be faster than your competition, and so on and so on. So we had the diagnosis then 10 years ago with the Agile Chasm. We had the voices, great voices, by the way, and we choose to shortcut anyways. We choose to believe the hype of these big firms, of these soi-disant experts. The 97%, I insist on that, of the fake consultant, people who don't know shit about agility, business agility, Scrum, Enterprise Scrum, and doing it anyways. This is the original sin we are about to repeat with artificial intelligence consultancy, especially on the side of enterprise AI for the adoption of this fourth layer of the industrial revolution and the digital transformation. And so now I have to put in my equation and my reflection the blockchain. And if you like it so far, before we go to the part of the blockchain, which is for me a greatest standard of things, because let's be honest, the blockchain decentralized identity standard, okay, is the most consequential innovation of our generation of the last 20 years. All right. And we are walking the same dangerous road, including enterprise AI. So, blockchain enterprise AIs are my next two chapters. But before I do so, I'd like to remind you that I got about, it's amazing. I think it's about 86% of you watching half of the show, even 75% of the show. So, it's a great viewership. But you are not subscribed. So, help me on both YouTube and Rumble. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, and we are here for the English program of Their Real Agile every last Friday of each month at 12 noon Eastern, 11 Central for my folks in Austin, Texas. And we also have a French program, un café avec Frédéric, the first or the second Friday of the month, depending on how busy I am delivering goodness to my client. All right, so now let's get back to this part two of our 71 episode here. The blockchain and the Bitcoin B-money system. This is a pattern that repeat once before this enterprise AI. So the original promise of the blockchain of Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin as a B-money, was a decentralized digital trust, and the blockchain was a way to secure all of these transactions. It's immutable standard for digital identity as well, and it's a value exchange. So that's a true fourth layer of our digital society. And the usurpation start with the NFT mania, the ICO scams that we saw, especially lately in the last 2, 4, 5 years since this great 2020 event. So the blockchain consultant selling vaporware. Yeah. Enterprises paying millions for enterprise blockchain project that deliver nothing. The decentralized finance casino obscuring the genuine innovation of a B-money system for the unbanked. So the usurpation was as much as enterprise professional service with the blockchain standard technology to help with the digital identity and the protection of financial data. And if you take the outcome with the Bitcoin as an exchange, that become also a commodity instead of staying this asset that free a lot of Indian women, a lot of African women and farmers throughout the what we call the third world. I don't like to call it the third world for me, but these people in the southeast that are the future of the world economy, by the way. Anyways, if you didn't pay notice, the Northwest is cracking down. It's failing. It's a failing empire. It's happening right now. And the rising of the Southeast, it's there. So I welcome all the people listening to this from the side. Thank you for the like on YouTube, by the way, just now live. 2 likes already. So keep going to help me beat these algorithm of Google Alphabet. So the Bitcoin specifically usurpation or condemnation was the real standard of the digital monetary sovereignty being buried under the speculative noise and bad actors of the financial system, namely Wall Street and the City of London. So they lost that craft at the carnival of this kind of Bitcoin casino as a commodity. So the bridge to AI now, you will say, what do you make it like the Agile hijacking, the blockchain usurpation, and the Bitcoin usurpation that leads to this? Blockchain taught us the pattern, especially on the technological and scientific side. The pattern that was not a bug. It was a feature of how innovation gets colonized by what I call the suits. And AI is entering right now as we speak in 2026. AI is entering that exact same corridor right now that Agile did in 2012-14 and that 2020-2021 the blockchain and Bitcoin does. So that came us to the main course of our program today, the enterprise AI chasm, the new impostor economy, of course, because now you're going to see, and you could laugh about it, how the algorithm of Microsoft LinkedIn is pushing that bullshit. You could smell the bullshit on your LinkedIn For me, it's linked out. That's why I don't even propose these live streams anymore on that lame platform that doesn't even pay attention if you have a bit of a divergent argument or ideas. I'm not saying like I don't want to be right or wrong once again. And you could realize that why my team and I, we choose their Real Agile as a name of that podcast back in 2019. That was in response to Martin Fowler, Mezick, and Beedle calling out this Agile Industrial and all the fakeness that we saw, especially at the Agile Lounge when we start working under that brand name, because I've been in the sphere of Agile, business agility, and enterprise Scrum since 1999, 2000. But in 2016, we decided to make a difference, make a new way of training, also especially on the workshop, and a new approach with the Agile Lounge here at the Crew Collective at the Bryant Park in Manhattan, to have a great space, not just an open space or a safe space, but a great space to enhance creativity, uncovering these new ways and everything. And client like this, and all of a sudden, part of our beginning was we were hired, my consultant and I, to actually clean up the mess of all the previous Scrum Master or Agile coach that they had before, at the demand most of the time of the senior architect or developer of their organization, sponsored by the CIO or the CTO. Could you imagine that? And and when we had like more like kind of bigger mandate in the big corporate world, we were trying to actually help them uncovering the real McCoy of what was the intent of the Agile Manifesto for software development, by the way, and how we could scale it, not scaling it in terms of numbers of teams doing it, but in terms of agilizing the entire enterprise. So that brings me today, where I've been a guinea pig of Envision AI and other researcher since probably 2013, and we see the rise of the machine since probably 2021, and now the exponentiality of the technology, the science behind these generative AI, these large language model, and now we have the agentic economy that's starting to kick. So a lot of enterprise said, "Oh my God, I have to jump on it. I have to invest money on it." So that's why we call it enterprise AI, because it's not just like the grand public prompt engineering process or how to use properly a chatbot or a Gen AI to be creative. No, now we talk about the agentic, creating agent that are part of a team, like our Adrian product owner, that part of two teams right now in Austin, Texas, that do a better job than a product owner. But of course, the product owner is still there as a business owner to oversee the data we put in this private cloud, for instance. So for us at Adrian AI, anyways, for the enterprise AI as a service that we'd like to propose, it's based on ethic, compliance of your industry, and mainly also these great equation. We have a big equation. We are empirical after all. So the equation is centered about the H2H, human to human interaction, that require the assistance to speed up the process and enhance the quality and the quantity of things to do and doing the right thing, deliver what's right with AI. So it's AI plus HI, human intelligence. So the strategy stay in the human, the verification and validation and the quality control stays in the human, and it should be a collaboration like this. So that's the real McCoy thing that I've learned at both MIT, HEC here in Montreal, and others, combining business and technology working together. One of the 12 principles of the Agile Manifesto that we should express loudly, that we should make explicit agreement with it, and to an invitation base. So what is at stake right now? We speak right now, Carpe Diem. This AI integration as the fourth layer of the digital enterprise transformation. It's a transformative potential of decision making, customer experience, and human augmentation. If done with craft, if done with the real McCoy of the science, and empirically, as we have to improve faster and faster in terms of new capacity and capability. So what is already happening? There's a flood of self-proclaimed AI consultant that actually makes so much noise on LinkedIn that you could not see the real, what is it in English again? Like livret, le bon grain de livret. I'm sorry. I don't take time to translate it, but for those who are bilingual like me, you understand. So it's like the good cereal compared to that kind of bullshit land that you don't have any nutriment into it. Okay, so there's a self-proclaimed AI consultant, as we had 10 years ago, self-proclaimed agile coach. There were agile coach out of nowhere. I remember being in meetings of some big bank, having people that I served in the past as another profession. They were suddenly a scrum master with no experience, never touched the system, never apply it, and now all of a sudden, big money spending on them to help teams of engineers that was eating them alive. And this is exactly what's happening right now. I had a prospection calls last week, and I get along with the engineering side of the business at the table. And they were saying like a consultant came last fall of 2025. He helped them with advanced prompting. That was it. He didn't know anything else. He didn't know how to work with Atlassian Intelligence, how to actually create tech stack and program. So, and then we realized that the maturity of the digital transformation on the layer 2 and 3 is not complete anyways. And now you want to jump in this fourth layer, I remind you. And so that flood of self-proclaimed AI consultant is making only prompt engineering. And now we see the job posting for prompt engineering. Excuse me. You just have to learn patterns with any of these tools that if you ask Claude at Anthropic, if you ask ChatGPT, could you train me on doing a better prompt? They will give you the real McCoy based on their interaction that they expect from your collaboration, HI and AI collaboration. See? So once again, you don't need a prompt engineering. We do a training. It's a workshop, actually. It's a practical workshop where we challenge you to make better and smarter prompt, to have a better relationship with your Gen AI tool. But it goes beyond that. So that's only one of the 8 pillars of enterprise AI, if you ask me. It's not the most important one. So you don't need to hire prompt engineers. You need to teach people of any field, of any craft, to actually do it, to have the AI companion collaborating with them and seeing the human augmentation here. So, and then there's this AI transformation. Sound a bell? A reminder of the agile transformation that doesn't exist. There's no agile transformation. There's no AI transformation. These vendors from Deloitte, from Pricewaterhouse and BSG and McKinsey, the worst. So most with 6 months of ChatGPT experience only as a user, and the big 4 packaging it as a new SKU. And I just realized that for the Montreal network, once again, like back in 2016, the SAFe system, the Scale Agile framework of Dean Langton-Well became from CGI, from Deloitte, and all of these firms. That was the framework they purchased. That was the thing they were imposing into their client and consultancy. Now we see the same pattern repeating with the same firm doing AI transformation using OpenAI instead of Claude. Claude co-work and Anthropic, it's a better way if you want to be really scientific, if you want to be really precise, if you want to be really professional. And even the engineer is saying like the code Claude, it's way better and less time consuming than the Gemini one and the what should I call it? The Codex one. But anyways, but then again, you don't impose a tool like those firms will start imposing Codex for the developer because that's what they have, and they hire people who have 6 months as a user of ChatGPT or Codex to become self-proclaimed AI consultant into those big 4 firms that packaging. This is the new SKU. This is the new imposter economy that we are entering it right now. Okay, so the chasm is forming, is there, it's here, should I say. Enterprises investing in AI initiative driven by fear of missing out, the FOMO, with no empirical framework, no genuine practitioner, okay, no learning path, even in house, no accountability structure, no security, no ethic, same movie, new title. Same movie of the Agile, Name title. So, the specific risk here for any business owner that watching or listening this podcast, it's a poor implementation, embedding bias, security gaps from naive AI deployment, malfunction connection to your Atlassian product, for instance, or any other Docker or any other track type of thing, especially in the software engineering process. There will be a trust erosion when AI initiative fail visibly, where actually the promise of attrition, of diminishing or having more Scrum team working on more feature or product will be actually you will have to rehire those to correct the bad outcome of these AI. So that will be the fail visibly on quality and also on the promised quantity. So in another decade of recovery and skepticism as Agile went through, and maybe not a decade, maybe now it's going to be speed on 3-5 years. We're going to see it like because times is accelerating at some point. And the dangerous enablers, it's the vendor driven. All of those SDR that knock at your door right now, the AI equivalent of the Safe Factory with OpenAI, once again, they want to create a framework, a commercial framework. As Anthropic is proposing you a real partnership collaboration of high class exclusive professional services. And of course, LinkedIn, the thought leaders, those bullshitter, those snake oils vendor with zero enterprise track record, with no proof of work. They just want to speed to market pressure, silencing the craftsmen. Like Safe and other big firm sold you Agile with fear. Now they're going to sell you AI with fear. So if you can't define empirism and AI delivery and adoption, you are not an AI consultant. You are the problem. You are part of the problem, and you will be part of the AI deception that is already here. So, in conclusion, my dear friends, the AI craftsmanship path, a bold empirical solution. Just try to, it's not a complete or a finished solution here, but I would like to propose you my 5 key result value proposition here. And my team and I, especially at Adrian AI, but also at the Agile Lounge, we are reflecting on it. We are reflecting on how we could develop, because one of the things we love at the Dare Real Agile, we dare because we care. And by caring is with empathy and compassion for the corporate world, for the small and medium business as well that we serve, is to also not just calling out what's wrong or maybe what's right, I don't know, but it's also propose value, propose a solution or something to explore together as we grow together, as we learn together. And togetherness, we thrive. It's an Irish poem that I love so much. Let's build castle together. Because you cannot build a castle alone, especially a castle in the sky. Jan Vendal, Google it, you'll see. So, my 5 key result value proposition to conclude this episode 71 of the Dare Real Agile podcast, where we dare because we care. So hit the bell, subscribe, please. Send me a comment. I'd like to interact with you. Now, I'm not in the studio right now, so I don't see. Okay, there's about like 5 people watching on Rumble and 2 people watching on YouTube. But is there a chat here? Do we have a chat? Live chat? No, nobody. That's okay. Anyways. So, let me return, not my script, but my guideline. So here's the conclusion. Here's the AI craftsmanship path, a bold empirical solution that I would like to explore with you moving onward. So the first one is demand empirism first. Because I think AI integration must follow inspect and adapt cycles. You must create a pilot to measure outcomes and validate, then scale it. And this is as good as for developer team wanted to using automation and testing and quality control or quality assessment, if you like, and also into coding and having a companion coder. But it's also great for creative people and the user experience, customer experience mapping, lean thinking, and also finance people that want to do job, legal department, all of this could be actually, you should need a pilot, not your entire department all at once. You should start with a pilot, see the outcomes, and how could you adapt it to others. So no big bang AI transformation ever, because let's learn from this agile or business agility scaling stuff that was not do it. That was funny because you had an agile transformation, but without the empirical system. So an AI required it because you could have a new feature offered by Anthropic or OpenAI or even Gemini, and you're not even like, you don't take the time to reflect and adapt on it and to any cycles. So what are you doing? No empirism, no business agility, no enterprise scrum, no AI integration. I'm telling you, that will be the base layer of doing your receipt. Secondly, define that AI craftsman standard. Yes, you have to have a standard. Real enterprise AI practitioner hold a proven delivery track record, or at least R&D track record of real interest, and trying it with team of engineer, with business stakeholders, teams, whatever. But they have to have a proof of work. At least, of course, nobody has 5, 10, 13 years. But do they actually work? Did they practicing something at least once at when we speak in 2026? Okay? That's the track record. A cross-domain understanding. Is it data, ethics, UX, business, finance, legal, product development, project management, what have you. Okay? And genuine agility. Yes, they have to have genuine agility. So we know it's hard, especially here in Montreal, as you know. I insist that only 3% of us are the real McCoy of Scrum, CI/CD, system engineering, and business agility. So already the genuine agility into your AI consultant, well, it's that, not just tool proficiency. You could know a lot of OpenAI or Claude if you don't exactly have this agility and the empirical process to actually help and be inviting and be agreed upon a certain recipe, you will fail again. Thirdly, and I praise my friend Mezick, the Mezick principle, I call it now, invitation-based AI change. AI adoption imposed top-down or bottom-up will fail, exactly like Agile and blockchain or any digital transformation. Invite teams into the learning. Let adoption emerge from genuine value demonstrable at the team level first. That's the winning system, not the goal for losers. Fourth, reinstate the citizen responsibility. And nowadays, with the digital data, your digital twin that have to be secure, and the AI accessing a lot of data that we give to, it's even worse in social network, if you ask me. So the enterprise, the practitioners, the clients must hold each other accountable. So the citizen responsibility here is the accountability. Call out the con. Yes, if you see someone or something wrong with any approach, call it out. Support the craft, support the craftsman and the craftwoman. Found genuine work. Document your proof of work, and not be treated by vendor. Don't go into the theater of vendor. Try to actually create a new generation of subject matter expert into your AI and be helped by those genuine agilists that know also the technology and the research and development framework of what AI can do for your enterprise at any level. So that's the There's no such thing as shared responsibilities, shared accountability. Every one of you, whatever the kind of stakeholders you are responsible for your own achievement and also from your own demise. So that should apply into the craftsmanship path of an AI adoption and AI integration with evolution. And finally, the Agile launch commitment that support this emergent Adrian AI agency is my consultant and myself, and both my tech lead and my business agility advisor. We stand for AI craftsmanship by renewing with product development craftsmanship. We stand with the real true empirical process control, human and customer centered, responsibility deployed at all level, no dogma, no shortcut, real agile apply to the real AI. Real thing, baseline reality, guys. So that was it. Let me go back in studio to see if there's any live comment on this Friday, February the 27th of the year one, 2026, of everything could happen. So nobody is chatting. So if you liked it, please give me a like on both Rumble and YouTube, wherever you are watching it live. And for those who are listening into our Spotify channel, our Apple Podcast, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Amazon Audio, we are on 36 audio platform. It's always mostly you receive it in your inbox. I know we have 150 subscribers to receive when the audio podcast is ready. So mostly, sometimes my team try to put it back when it's ready after the renaming of this live stream from the YouTube, Rumble Studio. As you could see now, we have a deal with Rumble to make a better thing. We improve a lot, and I like it. I know the sound could be tricky when I'm at this studio of the Crew Collective, but I like to be here on Friday morning to have a vendredi ouf, as we say in French, and meeting other entrepreneurs, me doing some networking, bridging, because networking is one thing, but when you bridge this, yeah. And I really would like, speaking of the Crew Collective and this, just maybe to finish the show here, the Evan this, yeah, it's Franglish because it's Montreal. I'd like to invite you formally, and the pinned comment on both Rumble and YouTube will have the link to get a reservation, or it's in the description probably. So let's okay. Here we have it. I think accept all, yes. So April 14, this 2016 to 2026, 10 years of goodness of Agile Lounge, for Enterprise Scrum, for Business Agility, 10 years of the best ever co-working in the entire North America, especially well managed. Especially now the third generation of leadership here at the Crew Collective. I salute them, doing a great job, evolving. We have now the Crew Cafe, we have the Crew Collective co-working, and now we have what I used to call, they don't name it like this, but I name it like this, the Crew Soir or the Crew Bar. Very great martini after work. Great to do a networking session with members, other entrepreneurs. It's a goodness thing here. So I truly invite you to join us that Tuesday evening for a long 5 à 7, at least 5 to 8, to celebrate the 10 years of a lot of entrepreneurs here, including Envision AI, myself at the Agile Lounge, and of course the Crew Space. So networking, talk, open space, eating and drinking, having fun, and trying to change the world together with a martini or a great beer. So we are waiting for you. I hope you'll be able to make it. Once again, in the pinned comment, you will have the link to register for free. And if you'd like to give us a birthday gift to both Crew and the Agile Lounge, it's only $10 or the amount you want. And all the profit will be given to a homeless organization or a woman help organization. And the neighborhood of Montreal downtown that helped them. So that will be this. So I thank you very much for listening. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, of course, give me a like, share this to someone to inspire them. And once again, let me finish with this. Remember who you truly are. Remember your OG self. You are wonderful. You are powerful. And you are free to use that power to be whoever you want it to be and to do whatever you want it to do. And respect of one another. That's the most important thing. So I love you. Happy weekend to you. And see you next month in English, but very soon in French with a café avec Frédéric. Ciao, guys.